one of the important tasks is to get control over this bearing. That's going to be replaced next year, but it looks really manky. They've covered it with the the same bottom paint as the boat, so that's VC17, and that is something you should not put on aluminium, and this is aluminium. And you can see the result, it is absolutely gone. You can see here it's a chunk missing, and it is pitted all over. So what I'm going to do today is I'm gonna cover it in a thin layer of thickened epoxy, and then I'm gonna inject thickened epoxy into all of the cavities and pits and so on. I've cleaned them up as best I can, and then I'm letting it set for until tomorrow, and yeah, we're gonna cover it in primer and put some aluminium friendly bottom paint on this. So it looks a bit manky. Since I was going to apply this epoxy with a syringe, I was a little bit uncertain of how runny I should make it to get it through the syringe, because I wanted it into all of these cavities to fill them, to stop the corrosion over the season. So I've backed up as best I can. I'll see how it goes. So we'll see. It's not going to be pretty. It's just to stabilize the bearing a little bit over the summer. So yeah, I've never syringed epoxy before, so it's a first. It was a really tiny hole, and that's why I picked that syringe, because I figured that is that's probably good, because then I can get deeper into every crevice. Yeah, so I made it perhaps on a thin side. So well, a second attempt came out a lot better. So it's not, the epoxy was perfectly mixed this time. Stays really well in place. I think the first failed layer actually performed really well, because that created a really good filling of the inner bits of the crevices and so on. So first on thickened epoxy, then slightly thickened epoxy, and now really thickened epoxy. So I think this is going to bond up really nice, and that's going to give the not so great porous bits and bobs of the bearing housing quite a bit more support, so it has a better chance of staying together over the season. So I'm not planning on big ocean crossings this season, so I'm perfectly comfortable doing this. The new bearing housing, original from Bavaria, is made out of plastic instead of aluminium, so that's a huge improvement, because yeah, the aluminium cannot stand up to bottom paint. This is a common problem, but if you have been careful and coated the bearing in good primers and hopefully aluminium friendly bottom paint, it should be fine. But of course, now that it's going to be made out of plastic next year, I think that is going to be way better. So looking forward to that project.